Justice League number 11, written by Jeff Johns, art by Ivan Reis. Last issue left off with Graves attacking the Justice League, showing them all their worst nightmares or memories or whatever like that, and then seemingly leaving. This issue picks up with him already gone. Everyone's still suffering from their nightmares. Batman's the first to shake out of it because his whole life is a nightmare. And we see that his parents getting shot, the typical thing. He shakes Superman out of his. And we see that Superman, his memory was his father having a heart attack, which I'm not entirely sure is the canon right now, but worth keeping in mind at least. And everyone else says what theirs were. Until finally Cyborg's like, okay, here's the deal. Graves teleported out. He went to a house in D.C. that belongs to a Tracy Trevor, which is Steve Trevor's sister. And then we cut over to Graves inside the house, who's basically just like looking over some family pictures while Tracy's sitting there, just tormenting her constantly of like, oh, you're going to die soon. You're going to die soon. And he recounts like, look, I was given my powers by the Ashura to bring down false gods, and I see false gods as the Justice League, so that's what I'm going to do. And Tracy's like, where's Steve? To which Graves says, oh, don't worry, you won't have to watch him suffer, as I had to watch my family suffer. And then as he's recounting his family's loss or whatever, Justice League boom tooms in, and as soon as they do, Graves just teleports out again, and they're like, crap, all right, well, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. And Tracy just breaks down crying, and it's just like, Wonder Woman steps up like, hey, Tracy, you okay? He's like, this is all because you were in his life. He loved you, and what did you ever do to him? You suck, Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman's like, I promise I will bring him home. So at that point, they all step outside. Police are there, and they're just recounting like, yeah, that's David Graves. He wrote a book about us. The book managed to change public perception and make us like, household names and heroes, people that are trusted. Apparently, he had his whole family die shortly afterwards. They all fell ill to a mysterious illness, and then he did as well. So maybe they were infected by something from like Darkseid that we missed. Either way, the only other location we have for him is a cabin way up out in the Maine. So maybe we should check there. And at that point, Wonder Woman just starts walking away. And it's just like, I'm going to Graves' cabin. You can't stop me. And it's just like, look, that's fine, but we need to take this slowly. And you literally cannot go and kill him. And we're not doing that. And it's like, no, you all are taking too long, and I am definitely going to go kill him. That's my way of doing things. At which point, Green Lantern like puts her in a bubble. And she's like, hey, look, just calm down. Let's take a minute. We all know how much Steve means to you. He means that much to us too, but you just need to take a minute. And Woman's like, Green Lantern, let me out now. He goes, no. To which Wonder Woman shatters his bubble, and then they start getting into a massive fight. And at this point, people are watching. Like, there are other people around watching the Justice League fight. Superman tries stepping in and, like, calming down Wonder Woman. He gets kicked in the face. And then Cyborg calls in being like, hey, Batman, I don't know how this is happening, but this fight is being broadcast, like, all over the world. Like, people are watching the Justice League fight each other. And Batman's like, crap, okay, we got to get out of here. Cyborg, boom tube us out. And so he boom tubes them all to Graves' cabin, to which immediately Wonder Woman's like, hey, I don't need help from you, Green Lantern. You treat this like a game. And it's like, do you know what's going on in my book? Like, I see things way worse than this. Justice League is my vacation time, more or less. To which point Superman steps up and being like, hey, Wonder Woman, we know you're worried about Steve, but he's like family to all of us. We're here to help. And she's like, okay, Superman, thanks. Green Lantern's like, I literally said that exact same thing. Why? All right, screw it, whatever. So at this point, they're trying to figure out, all right, what's going on with Graves? And Batman manages to piece together that he went to a mountain, and he knows about the legend of this place, of the Ashura or whatever, the Valley of the Souls. And so they boom tube over to the Valley of the Souls, and as it turns out, nobody can see an entrance to this place except for Cyborg. He's the only one who can. And Batman says, like, it turns out the people who are, like, dying and or close to death are the only people who can see the entrance, to which Cyborg is like, is my human half dying? And Batman's like, no, definitely not. No, definitely not. No, you're good. You're good. We'll deal with it. So they all make their way inside, and these spirits start, like, coalescing around him. And Batman sees his parents. Green Lantern sees his dad. Everyone just sees their own little nightmares, until finally Cyborg sees himself, and he's like, that's not a good sign. And Wonder Woman sees Steve Trevor, who says, "You're too late, Diana. I'm already dead." Okay. It seems a bit murky as to what it wants to do here. I get the idea of, okay, you want to tear these gods down and you want to like from Graves' perspective, you see the Justice League as these people who let you down personally and you want to tear them down as well. To which point the fight thing being broadcasted all over the world, I really get that. That seems perfectly in line with his plan, but it also didn't seem like anything he could have planned. That was just because Green Lantern is the one who tried to stop Wonder Woman. If Superman did it, I don't think that would have worked out as easily. So the part that seems to be the most in line with what he's saying is also the part that didn't seem like it was in his control at all. The stuff that is in his control is these weird spirit things, which I get are emotionally testing, but I don't see how they really tear down. They're just making them relive bad memories, which aren't, that's not tearing down the public perception of them. It may break down their will to fight or whatever, but that's not public perception. I feel like we're just getting a little bit muddled in the weeds here. Add in this new cyborg thing of, is he actually dead or dying and this like is on life support more or less, which I think the obvious answer here is yes. Clearly he was dead and or dying and is now on life support, but I guess we're making a story out of it, so whatever. Yeah, no, it just seems a little bit muddled on what Graves actually wants here, and more specifically why he is such a threat. Like, he's able to teleport and he's able to bring in spirits, but like, if I shoot him, would he die? He doesn't seem that impervious. He just seems like a dude in like skull makeup. So I don't know. It's just a little bit murky for me personally. I don't think this arc lasts particularly that long, so I'm not that plussed about it. But in terms of rating, I'm giving this one a 7, but like a full point of that is just on art and the pacing of it. I really like the way the story is told and how it looks, but in terms of the actual story itself, that's probably close to like a 6, if not a 5. So whatever with this Graves thing. I feel like they managed to just suss out everything he's doing immediately after figuring it out, which admittedly is not a complex character. He literally took his name from his last name. That seems pretty easy, but I don't know. It's only a 7 for me, and I don't know how long this arc will go on for, but hopefully it can manage to pick up before the end.